than to have somebody in the higher realms that you really want to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
So I get so many people who come to me who are interested in psychic development, and they say, well, my child died, and I want to learn how to talk to my child on the other side. Well, that's part of the reason why your child died, because you had this agreement before birth that this would happen, so that your child could assist you in working on this curriculum of psychic development. On the earth level, it's a horrible thing. No one wants their child to die. But on the soul level, there's no judgment about things like that. So, I think we said this last time. You're sitting around in between incarnations with your soul family around a big conference table, and everybody's talking about what they want to learn next. And somebody says, well, I want to learn about greed. I want to learn about materialism. And somebody else says, I want to learn about vanity. So whatever you want to learn, you will create the exact lifetime to teach that. So if you want to learn about vanity, you might come to Earth in, the body of some famous, beautiful movie star, or you might come to Earth in the body of a crippled person with no legs who has no vanity. Whatever. It's all by agreement and decision with the soul family.
It's interesting. I've been working with paranormal investigators, specifically to I've always had communication with spirit, not understanding it, but working with them that doing paranormal investigation is more of like spirits that haven't realize that they've gone, or they're just, feeling stuck, or, because do you come in contact with many of those? Do you assist in that, or does Danny assist in that? I mean, how would that work? Or what's your opinion on that?
This is a great question, and somebody was asking me about something like this today too. This is an attachment to your question, and I'll answer them both. People always ask me about, well, if you start, dabbling in interdimensional communication, could you possibly bring in, dangerous or negative energies that come into your psychic space? So these two questions are the same thing. If the soul is stuck, whatever stuck means, they are where they are supposed to be. I don't believe, from what I've learned from Danny and my guides, souls don't get stuck. Every person who dies is met by a loving team of healing teachers, entities, departed loved ones, angels, a whole group. And no, people don't get stuck. I don't believe that. I think that's a Hollywood movie notion.
Mm-hmm.
If you take, I work with a lot of people who've dealt with suicides. If you take, Catholics believe that suicides go straight to hell. Give me a break. That's ridiculous. Suicides are met with healing love and correction and help, because there's no judgment in the universe. There is not a judgmental God with a beard sitting there that says, you're good, you're bad, you're good, you're bad. It doesn't happen that way. So all that happens is you're met with love. So a person who dies, the closest thing I could describe to being stuck is that they're struggling with their ego. Yes, it's true that people don't often know that they've died, but it will be explained to them by those who meet them. And it will be explained to them at the level at which they are able to understand it. So some people will understand it sooner, faster than others. But nobody ever... Do
you think it's possible because sometimes the feelings that I get, and what you're saying makes perfect sense, because free will, I would imagine, doesn't end after you leave the physical body. I don't know, but, it's your free will to decide, I guess, move on or not.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if at a soul level, if once they get to, past the physical, and then let's say they were Catholic, let's say they're Catholic and they murdered someone, or they raped someone, or did something that they felt because of the church's programming and church's direction that, well, if you do these bad things, or whatever, they had an understanding that, you're going to, from what I get, judgment. They're like afraid of being judged, so they don't pass through the light, or they don't they don't recognize that these higher level beings, angels and relatives, and higher level beings of light are coming to assist. I'm wondering if they get stuck at that one.
No, you can't get stuck. Everybody passes through the light. Hitler passes through the light. Jeffrey Dahmer. Everybody passes through the light. There is no place to go. There is no dark and light. And so what happens is, because remember, we're all growing on our spiritual path at different rates. So, where one person is, where George Bush is going to be different than where I am. But in the heaven realm, and I use the word heaven not in the Christian sense, this is the word my guides have told me to use, and it refers to all the higher realms of consciousness other than the earth realm. In the heaven realm, there's nothing but love and total acceptance. There is no such thing as a judgmental God who has an opinion about this person is bad and this person is good. Every one of us is good. Every one of us came to earth to have a particular experience to further the growth of the collective of all of us, even the bad guys. So when we die and we arrive in the heaven realm, we are met by our helpers and teachers who help us work through whatever it is at whatever level we're on. It's like going to college, right? So, if you're a freshman in college, you have teachers and academic advisors who help you work at your level. And those advisors are also helping PhD candidates. On Wednesday and on Tuesday they're helping you, a little freshman. There's no judgment. There's no judgment. We're all here to learn this stuff.
Okay. So I've got another question for you then. This is all really very interesting and good. What would be your opinion on, like, I've noticed just in the last year or so, there's been a lot more activity, like we'll call it spirit activity. What do you think that? What do you think that is? Do you think it's just guides trying to get our attention, or could be loved ones hanging around just to visit? What would you consider?
What kind of activity? Like psychic activity, messages, that sort of thing?
No, more like actual activity, like, phenomenon, like paranormal activity, like things moving, like flipping off and on, or, just type of stuff.
Okay, well, the higher realms, we all have guides and teachers in the higher realms. We are all connected directly to the divine source, which is our home, which is where we came from. This is what I call God. So imagine that there is, somewhere in the universe, this stream of energy. And it's just like a stream. It's just flowing endlessly. And that's where all thought forms, all energy, all creation is. At some point in time, though there really is no time, a little section of that stream decided that it wanted to know itself in a different way. And in order to know yourself, you have to separate from yourself, right? It's like if you put your face up to a mirror with your nose pressed against the glass, you wouldn't really be able to see yourself, right? You have to back off a few inches. Well, that's kind of how it is in that stream. So this little aspect of the stream decided that it wanted to know itself via different kinds of experiences, and so it separated from the stream. And that was us choosing to live in physical bodies and coming to Earth. So now here we are on Earth, living in these physical bodies. Are we separated from that stream source? Not at all. We're still a part of it. We are emanations of it. So walking around in these bodies, we still have that in us. We're still completely connected, just like a child is connected to a mother, even though it's not in her body anymore, and the child's out there walking around in its own body. You know how strong that connection is as a mother. Well, that source home is like our mother. So the fact that we have that connection means that we're constantly sending and receiving messages back and forth. So psychic events are nothing special. It's what's supposed to happen. Now, everybody receives these messages in a different way. Some people do get things like flying tables and visions